You will never be good enough for other people. And that's hard to accept, honestly. That's something that I'm still accepting. And with that said, today is day 30 also. And in this video, I want to talk about expectations placed on you by other people. Because something I've learned anyway, personally, is that no matter how hard you try, how much effort you put into what you do, or how much you try to please particular people, you'll never end up meeting their expectations. And I know it's quite sad. This is especially prevalent within, for example, a kind of parent/child relationship, and also within work, also within schools. And it's sad to accept it. It's sad. Like, I've had experiences where, for myself, that I've gotten the highest marks I could get. But it's like, oh, you didn't get 100? You should get 100. It's like they'll never be pleased with you. And even let's say if you got 100, the next thing will be like, why don't you have a scholarship? And then it'll be like, even if you got a scholarship, it'll be like, why are you not? Like, why is that scholarship not for this particular university? And like within that university, it's like an endless cycle of almost like, okay, you met that expectation. It doesn't end there. It'll keep going up and up and up and up. And then you'll be in this kind of like caged in, not fully able to express yourself, but living for others, never for yourself. And I feel like, again, I've gotten used to the point where, like, especially with this big move here that I did leaving the corporate world, because I knew how unhappy I felt and how unfulfilling it was for me. And I know that I can bring value in other ways. But that, of course, let's say my parents didn't really see eye to eye with me. And before already, I had done things to disappoint them. So this just added more to the disappointment. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that fact that I will never probably be able to live up to their expectations that they have of me. But that's okay, because the only person that's going to, as it said today, I watched like a Wizard Liz video, and she said something. It was like, we're born alone and we die alone. So why should we worry for other people's expectations? We should be only worried what we expect from ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we're alone. And we only have ourselves. That's why it's so important. The whole phrase of like, love yourself sounds corny sometimes. Well, it's true. Like, if you don't love yourself, like, who will? And yeah, of course, people say there's unconditional love or parents and stuff like that. Is it truly unconditional for everyone? You know, that's not always the case. Like, there's so many stories of parents disowning their children because they're gay, or disowning their children because they didn't perform well academically, or because of status reasons. And like, there's nothing ever in the world that's guaranteed, except what you think of yourself, almost. Does that make sense? So you can't control other people's reactions or your environment. Of course, you can shape it a bit with your mind and how you view the world, but at the end of the day, it's yourself. It's yourself that's like the most important. Yourself who can decide whether you are successful or not. Yourself who can place those expectations on. So stop trying to live for other people. Stop trying so hard to please other people, because you probably never will. You never will probably ever please them, because they'll always find a fault in you. And that's sad to accept, but it's true. There will always be people who are judgmental, who are judging you, because they're unhappy in their own life also. And like, what more can they do? It's also not their fault for being like that. And sometimes also it comes from just like wanting you to be the best and live their dreams. Or sometimes it comes from like they believe you're more capable of something, but then like they add too much to it. Like, they put too much pressure, not knowing how damaging that can be for you. Or maybe they think you're like, there's so many stories of people who like, my parents wanted me to be a doctor. But then it's like, you didn't want to do that, but you wanted to please them. So, of course, when you don't go that route, they're going to be like, oh my God, so much wasted potential and whatnot. But it's like, you never wanted that in the first place. They never asked you what you wanted, and you never could express yourself. So you're doing it at a later stage in life. And that might seem like a disappointment to them, because it's like you're not following the life path that you wanted, but you never wanted that. So live for yourselves, and again, only you can judge yourself. Don't take in any negative criticism from other people, because I know it's hard. It's so hard. It's like I'm constantly getting battered by those around me telling me things that I don't associate with, that I don't identify with. And it's so hard to ignore them. But at the same time, like whenever this happens, sorry, whenever this happens, just remember that you are the only one who has a choice. You have the choice of either listening to them and complying with them, or ignoring that and going forward with what you imagine you to be. Like going forward with that self-identity that you created, and not letting them take that down. Because let me give you an example. Let's say you're trying to be someone fit, someone who works out. And then you have people constantly around you who knew how you were previously, being like, oh, you should, like trying to offer you more food because they believe you would want to accept it. They might not do it out of malevolence or anything like that. Or people straight out being like, oh, why are you working out? Like, you don't look like someone who works out, you know? No, you should choose to ignore that. Like, acknowledge it, but don't give it any power. And just move on in life. Move on, because you already inherently know what to do. You know what you're doing. And just keep moving forward. And again, it's not like you have to have some massive goal that you're moving forward in. But you already know what you're doing. You already know what's best for you. So, yeah. I hope you guys found value, and I love you all so much. Bye-bye.